ask you to take one and pass it along?
Sure.
Take one and pass it along. Okay, let's have a bit of fun here by playing a trivia game. I think we're all around in the 90s, safe to say. What televised trial in 1995 captivated the attention of audiences all across the world? O.J. Simpson. It was a marathon 10-month trial. The jury heard legal arguments, evidence, testimony from experts. It all came down to what O.J. Simpson's defense lawyer, Johnny Cochran, had to say. Johnny Cochran summarized all the arguments, all the evidence over the 10-month trial into one simple phrase. If the glove don't fit, you must acquit. If the glove don't fit, you must acquit. Short, catchy, memorable, and brilliantly effective. As we of course all know, O.J. Simpson was ultimately acquitted. So what does this all have to do with speech writing? Well, what Johnny Cochran actually did in coming up with that phrase was he gave us a brilliant example of what's referred to as, in speech writing, as a foundational phrase. So the whole purpose of this workshop is to basically introduce you guys to the concept of a foundational phrase. We're going to talk about what it is, why it's important, what are some of the characteristics, how to create one, and we're going to work through an exercise where we come up with one as a group. Okay, so what is a foundational phrase? The best way to think about it is to think of it as the essence of your speech. It's your take-home message crystallized into a short, memorable phrase. Give you a couple of other examples. If you can see it, you can be it. Be driven by your vision. Your attitude determines your altitude. Attitude towards anything is everything. Change your life by changing your mind. Jay's introduction, he talked about the idea about committing yourself to Toastmasters and improving your public speaking skills, and he gave us the line. Great public speakers are made, not born. So those are some examples of what I mean by a foundational phrase. Now, why is it important? Well, the challenge that Jay mentioned at the beginning was we quite often can come up with all kinds of ideas. We'll come up with things to say about a speech, but we struggle to really pull it all together into one coherent speech. Well, a foundational phrase is really like a guiding star. It guides your entire process of creating a speech from start to finish. Your opening, all your points in your body, and your conclusion should all relate back to your foundational phrase. And that's a sure way to ensure that your entire speech is focused, effective, and memorable. So it helps you to put together a very strong and consistent message. Okay, so basically, your foundational phrase determines what stays. If in doubt, leave it out. Okay, so let's talk about some of the characteristics of a good foundational phrase. Number one, short. Less is more. You want something short because it's easy to repeat and you can say it over and over again and drill it into people's head. If the glove don't fit, you must acquit. Number two, ideally it should be you focused. And what I mean by that is your phrase should ideally contain you. Because by doing that, you make your phrase more actionable for the audience. And it gives them something that they can and should do after your speech. Number three, it should be memorable. and rhythmic if possible. So I think most of the examples I've used have some element of rhyme. That's an easy way to make it catchy and memorable. Another way is through using very vivid or impactful language or imagery. So those are some of the characteristics of a good foundational phrase. Okay, how do we put one together? So I'm going to go over, I guess, a three-step process I've come up with, and then I'm going to ask you guys to help put one together. Number one, start with the idea of your speech. So in the workshop we just heard from Eric, he talked about some ways of coming up with good speech ideas. Identifying what are the interests of your audience, identifying what you know, and bringing that all together into a good speech idea. So once you come up with the idea, the next step is to really think about it and determine what is the point. What's the take-home message of that speech? Okay? What's the one thing you want people to feel or do or say after that speech? Write that down into one phrase. Now step 3 is really just about refining and polishing that phrase until you have it compressed down to a nice, catchy, and short foundational phrase. So let's try to put that into practice. Who has an idea for a speech? Kicking around their head. How about, let's see, who hasn't said anything yet? Sean, speech idea.
It's about a specific subject? How to enlighten people's days.
How to enlighten
people.
How to inspire people. Okay, what's your take-home message?
What's my key take-home message from that?
What's your key take-home message?
I guess sort of like don't sweat the small stuff, and that life is great, and embrace life every single day.
Okay, so we have this broad idea about wanting to inspire people. Sean's going to explain his take-home message as really focusing on the important things in life and trying to live each day with, what, some kind of...
Like it's a sunny day every single day. Don't focus on the negative things, and really, you know, it's life is enjoy the journey of life, basically.
Enjoy the journey of life. Okay, so that's a good start, actually. Is it fair to say that the entire theme or the main point of your speech is to really just encourage people to enjoy the things in life?
Yes.
Okay, so that's our take-home message. Now let's try to polish that down to something that is short, you-focused, and memorable. Any ideas? Enjoy what? The simple things in life.
Smell the roses or smell the flowers?
Life's a garden, dig it.
Enjoy
your life, forget the strife.
There we go, that's awesome. Life is a garden, dig it. Short, catchy, memorable. Yours was?
Enjoy your life, forget the strife.
Enjoy your life, forget the strife. Short, catchy, memorable, and it rhymes. So, those are some great examples, and if you really put some time at the beginning to think about your speech idea and really boil it down to a strong, short, and catchy foundational phrase, and then build your entire speech on that, you go a long way towards having a speech that's very effective, memorable, and possibly inspiring. So, in summary, crystallize the essence of your speech into one short phrase. Your foundational phrase determines what stays. If in doubt, leave it out.